much more comforting is it for you, even as a veteran, to get a week of practice in, real practice, versus like last week when it was such a short week?
Yeah, you get full speed reps. I think that's important. And so going into last week, most stuff was walkthrough and everything. So it's good to have a full week of preparation going into it.
You don't obviously have a full load of wide receivers, though, so how does that affect the way the offense is? Are you able to work with other guys? Bird is one of them, I guess.
Yeah, and he's been here from the beginning, and he's done a good job for us. He made some big plays for us last week as well. And so I think just with having some different guys in there and different things, we just make sure we're communicating well, making sure everybody's on the same page, and and trust our guys to get the job done.
Cardinals have pretty prolific pass rush with Chandler Jones and Marcus Golden. Does that speed up your clock a little bit, or is that something you're on alert for?
I think you want to make sure you play on time, because if you think you can hold on to it for a little bit longer, that's when bad things can happen. So they do have a good rush, and for me, it starts with playing on time and making sure I'm decisive with what I'm doing.
Andy, Matt just told us that Tevin Jenkins will be activated tomorrow. What kind of presence has he had around the team, I guess? What have you seen from him since he's been kind of back practicing with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have him back out there, and for him to start to get some of these live reps and get back into the mix. Dealing with injury and not having those opportunities to be out there is obviously tough for a rookie, but we've been able to see some really good things from him, and just getting him comfortable with everything that we're doing out there.
Andy, it seemed like Jimmy Graham had been kind of invisible until you ended up out on the field, and suddenly he became a pretty significant target. Do you have any particular chemistry or feel for working with him?
I wouldn't say there's any reason that it'd be more involved now that I'm out there than not, but I was happy for him to catch a touchdown last week and make a couple plays for us, and so he's obviously a really good player, and we've got to find ways to get him involved.
Veterans at tight end and some backups on the field because of injuries at wide receiver. Is it kind of a natural instinct just to be more aware of those guys or looking for those guys?
Yeah, we've got a really talented tight end group, and we've got depth there, and so we've done a lot of things with multiple tight ends on the field, and it's just kind of how we've been able to play, and now we've been able to find some matchups out there.
Coming off the Thanksgiving win, that final drive, and now having a full week of reps with the team, how are you feeling the offense is kind of finding a rhythm after you hadn't started with them for a while?
Yeah, it's the biggest thing. We got to be consistent with what we're doing. I think consistency is key, and for us, obviously, it was great in that last one to have that last drive, to have to go on the long drive that allowed us to win the game, kick the field goal right at the end. I mean, there's stuff that we can build off of for sure, and so I think we just got to carry a little bit of that momentum into this week and kind of where we're going here on out.
Did you view the last start and this start as an opportunity for you to show the league what you can do as a starting quarterback?
Yeah, well, I'm obviously thankful for the opportunity to be out there. It's a lot more fun to play than to be sitting on the sidelines. And so for me, I'm just trying to make the most of it. I'm just trying to do everything I can to help this team win and be the best player that I can be for this team. And the rest of all that will take care of itself.
Trying to be consistent, is that tough, though, when you go from starter to sitting out to starting again and knowing you're probably maybe heading back to the bench again whenever Justin is healthy?
I'm not worried about that. I think the biggest thing I'm worried about is this week and doing everything I can to help us win on Sunday.
I'm sure you respect all opponents, but the Cardinals' defense is a notch higher than the Lions. Is that increased degree of difficulty ever a challenge for a quarterback from one week to the next?
I think every game you play, there's things that are difficult. It's never just easy out there. So, I think for us, we know the opponent that we're playing against. I feel like we've had a really good week of work, and now it comes down to getting ready on Sunday to go show what we can do.
Vance Joseph from your time in Cincinnati. Can you talk about kind of what he's done with that defense and the things that stand out to you when you watch him on film?
Yeah, Vance is great. I obviously got to be with him for a couple years in Cincinnati, and I really enjoyed time there in Cincinnati with him. And you can tell guys are playing really hard for him. Guys understand his scheme. You have to be in there for several years, and having some of the players that they have, I mean, I think they really understand what they're trying to do and why he's calling certain things, and they've been able to play really fast. So, yeah, I mean, it's a really good defense.
I think Matt had mentioned that Vance will block a lot of blitzes and try to play with the line of scrimmage. Have you seen that on film, and what's the best way to counter that?
Yeah, you got to be prepared for it all. I mean, they do present some blitz looks, and sometimes they're blitzing, sometimes they're not. And I mean, I think that's just disguised as all part of playing defense these days. And so I think just understanding what we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish, and making sure that the communication's set up, that they're ready to go for whatever happens.
Can you describe what it's like seeing that, knowing that now as a veteran versus the first times you were seeing those things, disguised coverages?
Yeah, for sure. I always go back to I think it was the first third down I had my rookie year against Baltimore, and there was nobody down. Everybody was up and within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and then at the snap of the ball, everybody runs out, and you just kind of see. So like how I am now compared to what I just saw a big blur at that point in my career. Where now it's like I understand exactly from a protection standpoint everything that's going into it. So I would definitely say I'm more comfortable with everything that we're doing now than I was 10, 11 years ago.
What happened on the play?
It was an incomplete pass. I felt like I put the ball in a good spot though.